we live our whole lives trying to be what society expects. They did this thing in a nursing home, in a hospice, you know, where people go at the end of their life, and and they asked them, like, what are your biggest regrets? And most of them say it was living a life to help others, like living a life that wasn't true to who I really was, living a life that was just trying to please others. And I think I woke up to that fact recently. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been living my whole life to just make the people around me happy. Where I was like,
think
how do I live my
I
life
remember like
now?
yeah, when we first started hanging out, I think you told me that I was rude or you felt like I was rude because at that time I've never really masked too much, I don't think. Um and I was already being like my authentic self and not caring what other people thought, and I think you were still in that conditioning of like, oh, you can't just say what you think and you can't like express yourself in certain ways in public, because that was like what society had taught you. There were aspects of like I hadn't learned yet to maybe I did need to filter certain things, but um, I think that's often our fear, right? Is that like, oh, if I say this or if I do this, I'll come across as rude or weird or annoying, and it's just like learning to forget that noise. I think that's part of
It's,
what
yeah,
unmasking is, right?
it's an interesting balance because I feel like a lot of us have like these intense emotional experiences that we grow up with by being different with ADHD or any kind of
Mm-hmm.
neurodiversity. And I think that means that you have this protective mechanism going on. Like, I know that for me, like, I have a lot of anger that I need to still process, and I have a lot of intense emotions that I haven't fully processed yet. And I feel like it comes out in
Mm-hmm.
moments when we get triggered, and we can get triggered in public. And so, like, is it our responsibility to go and, like, because therapy costs money, and healing modalities cost money
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, and it's not easy to learn what actually really helps. Sometimes it's really expensive to do what really helps. So, like, how do we manage the balance between, living a life where we can be authentic and happy while living amongst a society that sees things different?